In this first episode of Grammar Cookies, we will check out the wrap cell, which is the most basic cell that you find inside of grammar cells, which allows for easily handling a specific use case where you otherwise would have to write your site transformations by hand. So yeah, make sure to look at this episode if you're interested in that. Let's head over to the computer and take a look at how to actually use it.
Okay, let's take a look at the wrap cell. I have a very simplified version of a statement-based language like Java or Go here. We have a root node that is, so to say, our file, and then we have content in there. 2 contents are currently allowed. The empty one, which is empty root content in this case, it's just an empty line. The expression content, that's a thing that wraps an expression. You can think of this like an expression statement in Java. And then we, of course, have an expression and one expression implementation at this point, which is a string literal here. It just contains a value. Okay, let's see how this behaves with vanilla MPS. So what we can do is we can create empty lines by pressing enter in the root, just as expected. And we can also go there and start typing our string literal, and it automatically gets inserted for us. So how is this done with vanilla MPS? With vanilla MPS, what we have to do is we have to write a substitute menu for our root expression content. So the editor of the root expression content looks like this. It's basically just the expression followed by a semicolon. And then where the actual magic happens to make this typing through the expression root content possible, that's here in the substitute menu. So we have a default substitute menu for this node. And it basically wraps the one for the expression. So it allows us to type an expression at a point where this expression root content would be expected. And then we have a little bit of code that actually does the transformation for us. So it gets the expression that we need to wrap. And it's supposed to create an expression root content out of it, which it does here with a light quotation. And it works perfectly fine, as you can see. So how would I do the exact same thing with grammar cells? So I have a copy of the language here, except for some parts of the editor. And we are going to try to achieve the exact same thing here. So the first thing we do is we go to the expression root contents editor, and we are going to use the grammar cells language. So I imported it right now. You have to make sure you have grammar cells installed. I'm not going to cover this in this tutorial. And now what we do is we remove the editor cell for the expression here, and we will replace it with a wrap cell. So let's open code completion and search for wrap, and we will find the grammar wrap here. Select it, and then select the cell that we want to wrap, in this case, the expression. Now we still get an error message here. This is something about dependencies. There's an extension to fix this automatically for you. Just click at open the intentions menu and click add dummy component to fix dependency. And we'll create another root node in here, which MPS needs to have the generator working. And now we rebuild the language. And we go to our example model that actually uses it. We create some empty lines. We go to an empty line and we start typing the quotation symbol, and we get the string literal. One thing you might notice when you open the code completion menu is that we now have 3 entries here. So 1 for the actual typing through, and still 1 for the expression root content here. If we want to get rid of that, that's also easy to do. We go to the expression root content, and then we create a substitute menu for this concept, the default one, and we just leave it empty, rebuild the language, go back to our example where we use it, open the code completion menu, and you will see that it's gone. That's how you can get rid of these duplicate entries in case you don't want to have the default entries by MPS included when you're using grammar cells. Okay, I hope you like this. You can find the example as well as the recordings of all other episodes at heavymeter.tv/grammarcookies. And I'm going to produce more of these tutorials I'm aiming for 1 tutorial a week. And next week, we are going to take a look at the flag cell. So make sure you get subscribed. That's it for now. Bye.